Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York, the Guru venue. In tonight's episode, we are continuing with a Rite of Passage. A Rite of Passage, as we all know, is the final test for a cub that they need to pass to be considered a full guru within the nation. For this particular Rite of Passage, however, there are 3 tests. As it is a Fianna Rite of Passage, there is a test of wisdom, a test of skill, and a test of luck. So far, Maebh Mac Fionn has passed her test of wisdom. Now, on this night, a different test will come. This test is where most would-be Fianna fail. Not because they aren't true Fianna, but perhaps because they haven't grown enough. Their skill hasn't flourished enough. So tonight we will see if that's true for Maebh. We open the scene outside of the Cup Cabin at the Sept of the Green in New York City, Central Park. What is everybody doing right?
Olaf is smoking cigarettes and eating venison jerky.
Inside or outside?
He's out on his porch.
Okay. Anybody else?
Albert is hanging around. He has his notebook in hand. He is outside because, Olaf, and he's just writing things down, finalizing a few things for his classes.
If Addie doesn't have a plan, I can totally Shanghai her and have her and Maeve chilling over on their porch swing, and Maeve giving her vague instructions, advice, etc. for dealing with spirits. She's probably only just come back from feeding the ravens and hasn't had much time to spend with Addie, so definitely won't hurt to spend what time she has.
Okay. What are Cinna and Lucas up to?
Currently depends on what Senna's doing, actually.
Well, Senna has taken up residence basically hiding underneath the porch. There's like cobwebs and dried leaves in her fur. She still prefers that place. It's a hiding spot. It's safe.
Lucas, for his part, is then situated a little bit away from the opening underneath the porch, being very satisfiedly blurred, and currently holding his own stick. He likes his stick.
Okay. Seems everybody is sort of congregated outside. So the night goes for a little while. After maybe about 10-15 minutes of this, a figure starts walking up to the cup cabin. Actually, 2 figures. One is the form of Chase's, which all of you are relatively familiar with. The other, however, is someone you have not met before. The figure that you haven't met before, as you're all familiar with Chase's in his Hamid form. The figure next to him has bright red hair. He's wearing a blood red shirt, short sleeves, black jeans, and white shoes. What strikes him as different is from the darkness of the night and compared to the light coming from inside of the cabin, I assume, when compared to the darkness, like a wolf's eyes, this secondary individual, his eyes flash in the darkness. And when he gets close enough with Chase's, you notice that his eyes are a bright ember. There's a smirk on his face, while Chase's expression is somber, very calm. Chase's looks over at Olaf.
Olaf, it was this particular song and dance. He has to abandon his cigarettes and jerky, despite the fact that one's satisfying and the other's delicious. Such is the trial of Guru life. He goes to Lupus, and he does that smooth, like that silky smooth, well-practiced version of the rover that he's gotten so used to doing.
Chase's sort of nods in Olaf's direction.
And when he is acknowledged, he takes that for permission to be led up. And it's like watching a wolf do a barrel roll. He's just right back up on his feet.
Chase as a storm sort of looks out at all of you after that.
Yep. As soon as Chase's is within a respectable sort of distance, Maeve is going to abandon the swing, probably tug Addie along and use this as a teaching moment, and rather than shifting to Lupus to do the gesture, will kneel when she's within a respectable range and tip back her head completely to bare her throat and her stomach in Hamid.
Addie will follow Maeve and do the exact same thing as soon as she sees what Maeve is doing, a few seconds right after, just to read the gestures correctly.
Come on, baby, do the flop. Albert flops. Because he saw Olaf do it.
Okay.
Question.
Hmm?
Do Chase's eyes go ahead and see past the obfuscation of Lucas, or look towards the underneath the porch?
Chase's does not. However,
Okay.
the figure next to him does.
Okay, fair enough. Then it's about time that Lucas, still blurred, goes through the motions. Doesn't want to break his blur, but definitely goes onto his knees and tilts his neck towards the stranger.
The Stranger smiles, but when he smiles, he bares his teeth.
Well, going to go ahead and fall onto my side now. Because apparently he wants a little bit more, and I'm more than happy to give it to him.
This is a genuine smile, but it's one that bares his teeth.
Oh.
And you will notice, if you're looking at him, which I assume you are, that his teeth are sharper than human.
Very interesting. Interesting eyes and interesting teeth. Fair enough. Lucas will maintain his vigil.
The figure looks towards Chase's, and he sort of goes up on his tippy toes because he's rather short. Chase is in his helmet form, is kind of tall, and he whispers something in Chase's ear. And it's at that point that Chase's will sort of crouch down and look underneath the stairs.
Oof, she had to step away, but she did post that if Cinna is called out, she will present herself, creep out, and roll over.
After that, Chase's will stand up, and he will look over at Olaf, and he will look at Maeve. The time, Den Father, for the next step in Maeve's Rite of Passage is tonight.
So be it, Raya.
However, it won't be me giving it.
I did not catch the middle of that sentence.
He said it won't be him giving it.
Okay. You know what? Olaf doesn't resist the urge. His head cocks to the side, part way, like, what? But what is this?
I brought along someone who was very interested to see if Maeve had what it takes.
Maeve is repressing the deer in headlights, if only because she's essentially looking up because she hasn't been given the cue to move yet.
You were all given. Once you did that, he sort of nodded at you. So.
Then she is roused up and not quite deer in headlights, but definitely taking even more interest in the slightly off fellow that is with Chase's.
Anybody have curiosity?
One fine day, a certain player did have it, and we all went into the underworld.
I assume Senna still has it, but I think we are waiting for Saskia to get back. And yep, him too.
Curiosity, it's an 8 difficulty. Isn't it? Or is that nightmares? No, curiosity is based.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's fine.
Curiosity's base? Okay.
Yeah. Roll curiosity, Finna. You passed. You got one. You're good.
Sorry, let me actually do the talkie thingy.
Yeah.
That's better. What did I miss?
Chasey said it wasn't him doing the test, and that he brought someone along.
Uh-huh. Well, as I said, I thought curiosity was div 8. If you say it's div 6, then I will be very happy. I'll need to look up a gift.
Hold on. I got it. It's dependent on the thing.
Ah.
So yeah,
And it's
you
up to you.
passed.
Yay!
Okay.
Actually, why was I rolling curiosity?
Because Chase's said it wasn't him doing the test.
Okay. I'm curious as to who does it then, or?
Basically, Olaf was the one that sort of like was taken aback, so that would be enough to spark curiosity.
Danger sense. Is that guy scary?
There's potential.
Okay.
Testing.
Testing. You're good. You're not really sure. You're caught. Danger sense is like... Actually, go ahead and roll me perception alertness.
Okay. Specialty attentive. No, never mind. I don't see shit.
No, you don't.
Well, best get those ones out of the way.
Yep. You're good. You think? Maybe. Okay. So,
Okay. She resists the urge to kind of crawl backwards a little. Which is amazing on a 1 die.
Albert is curious, and then he comes to the conclusion, through probably common sense, that there's a good chance it might be that guy.
Common sense would tell you...
Unless they're going to leave.
Common sense would say when there are two people and one person says he's not going to do something, that there is a chance that the other person may do it. So. It's at that point that Chases looks at Maeve and he says, "Well, girl, are you ready?"
I'm as ready as I'll be.
Well then, I will stand back until I'm needed. Till then. And he looks at the figure next to him. And he inclines his head, and he steps back. He inclines his head very respectfully. And steps back. And this guy next to him, dressed in a red shirt, black pants, white shoes, steps forward, and he gets almost directly up to Maeve. And he just sort of stands there for a second, rubs his jaw. So, you think you're gonna join Stag, eh?
And while she will look upon him as respectfully as she has to Chase's, she probably won't be able to help a slight grin just because he's very forward. And maybe shift her posture just a little bit because that seems like fighting words. I do.
You think you got what it takes? Yourself to the tribe. You gotta prove yourself to tradition. You understand what I'm saying?
She actually tilts her very faintly, knits her brows. I understand that I must do what is expected of me by the tribe as a tradition, but if I am meant to know the challenge already, I do not.
You ain't meant to know anything. This is a test of who you are. Whether you're good enough. So, I have a pretty interesting thought. Chase is over here. He agrees. What time of year is it?
Spring?
What's the importance of spring?
It is a time of rebirth, a time of growth, a time to plant seeds.
Growth. I like that. Yeah. You see, growth is important. Growth is, and it's at this point that he starts walking around you.
And she'll be keeping an ear on him or an eye when he's in range of that, but listening.
Now, what you gotta do is you have to always make sure that there's room for growth. If there ain't room for growth, no growing gonna happen.
That makes sense.
The same goes for what you're good at. Your skill, as it were. You've shown, and trust me, I've seen, so is Stag. You've shown that you got skill with spirits. But now we're really curious. We're really watching you. So we gotta know. You got what it takes to be a Theurge of the Fianna?
I have only learned so much of the Fianna's specific tact. But that I have done well, I can only assume that I will grow into whatever method is necessary.
Aye, aye. It's a very important part of spring. Stories are old used to speak of how spring used to be a blessing, how it used to serve the people of the land. And really, in reality, it's the people who serve the land. It's the people who earn the blessing. Now, this is a mighty set. But at the end of the day, it's just land. And all land needs the blessing of spring. So your test of skill today is you are going to go and get the blessing of spring. You are going to go and get the blessing of growth for this set.
Blink, blink. Very well.
Now keep in mind, and it's at this point he is in front of you, and he looks at the people gathered. Keep in mind now, she can't do that by herself. As I said, it's the people, and he looks at each one of you. It's the people that earn the blessing of spring. So she got to have people with her. You understand what I'm talking about?
And maybe we'll glance around.
Nod from the obfuscated figure.
Olaf is more or less impassive.
Addie will also nod. She's not very helpful, but she'll do what she can.
Albert will nod. Everyone else did.
Alright. Now you, and he looks over at the stairs. You, if you're gonna go with her, you gotta quit that shit. Like now. He's not looking at Cinna.
You looking at the obfuscated figure?
Yep.
Alright.
Good.
The obfuscated figure is going to go ahead and break it. And you see Lucas standing very much at attention to a superior, still holding his stick.
He looks at Olaf. Now you, if you're gonna go with her, you gotta realize that this is her place, not yours. Her responsibility, not yours. Whether she fails or passes, it's no mark against you. You gotta let her do her, and you do you. Got it?
Indeed, Raya.
She looks at, or he looks over at Albert. You. I know about you. You go with her, you gotta stop flapping that lip. Alright? And remember, you're a guru, not a gotti. Got it?
Yes, right.
Good. He'll look over it. Addie.
Eddie will stay quiet, just still.
You don't know much about you. But you got this. You got the scent of strength about you. Remember that.
Eddie will nod and say thank you, Raya.
Looks over at Cinna. You going with her too?
Cinna will think for a moment. I would very much like to support Maeve as she has helped me. But at this point, I'm afraid I would be more a hindrance than anything else.
You gotta quit that shit. We heard about what you did. We all did. You ain't no hindrance. Don't ever think you are. So, merry bunch of people you got with you. They seem to trust you. Is that right?
I hope that I have earned it.
Jesus. Speak with a little spine, girl.
I don't see why they shouldn't then.
Good. Now what you gotta do? Where you're going? You know what a den realm is?
That is not one of the ones I was taught about, no.
Den realm. It's a very specialized place. Only a few spirits know how to get there. Me, well, I know how to get anywhere I want. Some help chasers get you where you need to go. In this den realm, there are going to be ancient spirits. Real ancient, real old. You gotta be on your best behavior. But to get there, you're gonna have to pass by a gatekeeper. Now that gatekeeper is gonna ask a price. Each one of you. And each one of you will have to let Maeve speak for you.
She's gonna go a little wide-eyed on that one.
It'll be your responsibility to make sure that the deals that they make with the gatekeeper are just. They ain't paying too much, they ain't paying too little. You understand?
I do.
Good. These spirits you're talking to, they're growth spirits. Very ancient concepts of what it means to be a spirit. They're very set in their ways because their ways work. Don't forget that.
She'll nod briskly.
Once you're there, you'll be able to find the oldest one. Growth spirit linked to Pangea.
There'll be a flash of recognition, that one she recognizes.
You'll be able to get the blessing of growth. But that is the final deal you'll have to make. And again, you'll have to make it all on your own.
All right. May I fetch something before we go then?
What's that?
It's a small gesture, but I have seeds in my room
You got
that I would
something
like to
carry
dedicate
in
and
the
bring.
Umbra?
Pardon?
You got something to carry them in the Umbra?
I would have to dedicate them to myself.
Don't know if we got time for a dedication.
Fair enough. I will not be able to acquire something that powerful until I am Fianna.
We shall see. Alright. Question.
Yes?
Do you know who I am?
She's gonna finally actually narrow her eyes and take a proper look at him. She's been trying to very respectfully not stare, but this totally counts as permission. So he's got amber eyes, he's got prominent teeth, he's got red hair. Any other telltales?
His colors might be an indicator of what house he comes from or family.
He's wearing a red shirt, black pants, white shoes.
How nice white shoes.
Very new white shoes.
Sneakers or dress?
Boat shoes.
Bolt shoes. Ooh.
She'll tilt her head a little. If you
Shoes
are
that
an
are
ancestor... Huh?
Shoes that are easy to slip off and on really fast.
So she'll kind of tilt her head and finally say, if you are an ancestor, I am not familiar enough. But if I was to guess, I would guess you a fox.
He looks you up and down. Good guess.
And she smiles.
Take those seeds. Put them in your pocket.
And she will hurriedly run to her room, fetch out what's probably just like some generic wildflowers or something, or something easy to get a hold of, a little packet of them, and slip them into her pocket and head back out.
He he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a little gold bell. And he rings it a little bit as he walks around you. And you feel a sort of tightening around your body, a spiritual tightening. Consider the seeds dedicated.
Awesome sauce.
Alright. So, I'm gonna help Chases. We're gonna get you to that room. Now you gotta be careful. Okay? You have the duty to serve. Not only yourself here, not only the sept indirectly, but directly. You are responsible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other people. It's going to be your responsibility to make sure that they don't leave too much of themselves at the gate.
She'll nod.
It's at that point that Chases and Fox, as you have identified him, will sort of come closer together. They'll pace around. You will see Chases start to vanish, and the Fox start to vanish into the Umbra as they are still pacing. Who's following?
I'm just going to take the little... Though actually, I suppose first I should hand the mirror to Addie, since I know she won't have anything on hand. You remember how this works?
Addie will nod. She remembers the mirror trick.
And she'll place her hand right under Addie's so that as she begins to fade, she can catch her compact.
See?
You're good if you take your time. You don't have to roll or nothing.
Addie will concentrate and remember the mirror trick that she was taught. And sorry. 1 second. One sec.
And Maebh will
Albert
probably
also
glance down
steps sideways.
Yep, make sure that people get across all right.
What is the Cinna doing?
Not really liking the fact that she'll have to get into the Umbra since, well, last time that did not go very well. She kind of has a feeling she did not really have a choice to come along, and she definitely didn't want to hinder Maeve, but she'll...
If it looks like you're hesitating, Lucas will go ahead and walk up to you. We'll go ahead and crouch down to get on to your level. You up for this?
I don't know.
Well, it's a decision you have to make right now. Nobody will fault you for taking your time. But if you do go, all you have to do is look to me and follow me. Don't lose sight of me.
Maebh will actually head her way as well. With the obvious worried expression. She'll also crouch down.
Lucas looks to her. Hey, this is your test.
Oh, I know, but I just wanted you to know. Cinna, if you need more time, I understand. But if you want to go, then come with me. But if you're not ready,
I'm
I
not
don't.
myself. I'm not myself yet. I want to help you. Don't get me wrong. You've supported me when I needed it. I want to return that favor. However, at this point, I'm not sure if it would be the best decision.
And how about this, Cinna? Why don't you go ahead and hold down the fort for us? Because who knows what will happen if we leave here and nobody is left to defend.
For as far as wolves can raise an eyebrow, this Silverfang Lupus is raising her eyebrow. Sorry, Maeve. But I do think it's best that I stay here. I'll be more of a hindrance to you than anything else.
I would never think of you that way, but what's important to me is that you are doing all right. You've been through a lot, and it hasn't been very long. If you feel better staying, then stay, and don't feel bad about it.
I'll leave it up to you. You're the leader. You want to take the risk.
I'm not the leader till we're on the bridge.
You are.
I don't want you to go if you don't feel like you'll be all right. If you think you have things together and you can go to a place of spring, then come with, and maybe it'll help. But
You know what? That shit. I don't know. I don't even know in character. God damn it. Why do I keep rolling minuses?
maybe doing something that's normal for us will help you kind of get back into things.
Maybe. Do you want to take the risk?
I am not worried. I don't think that you're go hauling off at the mouth to giant ancient spirits, so I imagine we're okay.
I'll come with you.
Alright, if you're coming with us, again, keep us in your sights. Don't go running off. Don't try to speak too much.
And Maeve will offer to hold down the compact to where Cinna can see it without having to shift or get up or run around or something.
There is again that eyebrow raise feeling of Luke that's coming over the Lupus as she just stares at Lucas. And we'll take her time shifting into the Umbra.
Now Maeve knows Lucas has a mirror, and by then I assume Olaf is already either overlooking or has something in mind.
Olaf is there. It is obvious he intends to follow. It is also obvious that he is comfortable with the rest of you going first.
Has Albert stepped across?
Yes, he has.
Okay, awesome. And Lucas has his own mirror because he's clever like that.
Swing, 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 swing. Wee, 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 wee,
Yep.
wee.
Wibbly wobbly side effects. Bloop.
And before Olaf goes to join the rest of the party, he actually looks at Chase's.
Chases is already across doing the ritual to open the moon bridge.
Okay. In which case, he just looks at him but doesn't say anything. It's almost contemplative. And he heads across.
All right. So everybody is taking the time to shift. You guys eventually all get there because the gauntlet of the sept is relatively low. And you are greeted by the sight of Fox and Chases. Fox, who is now in his spirit form, instead of the faux human form. Is sort of, I almost want to say skipping, sort of leaping, running around in what looks to be a circle, while Chases is calmly just a smooth, mellow beat upon a Celtic drum. And as some of you have seen, and some of you have not, light begins to coalesce from it looks to be just about where the sun is, or the moon is in the sky. It begins to coalesce and travel downwards as a bright silver rainbow opens up.
Fight's urged to clap along and go E at the rainbow.
And it ends as it hits the ground right in front of your group.
And Maeve will probably wait a tick to make sure that they are done with what they're doing, because preemptive striding onto an opening bridge seems like a terrible idea.
The song ends. Fox ends his dance, and he pads up to Maeve. He tilts his head.
How big is he?
He is about the size of a normal fox.
Okay. If he does so, she will take a knee to get down on his level.
Do you want the primal urge rule?
Sure. I'll always take a free roll. Perception?
Perception, primal urge.
That's 3.
That's not just a fox. It's not quite the fox, but it's not any regular fox. Do you want to roll spirit lore?
Of course I do. As soon as I look over, okay. I have the lures.
This is a jagling.
And the player is still learning the different names. How big is a jagling?
You have minor gaffling, minor jagling, and then jagling. This isn't quite the totem. It is one step below.
Well, then there's definitely no hesitation to kneel to get on his level when he looks her way. Thank you, Spirit, for taking.
The voice in Spirit speech is much more melodious, less accented. You're welcome.
Is there anything else you would have me know before we depart?
No,
Well, you have done me a great honor. Thank you.
you're welcome.
And
And
she'll go ahead and... Oh, go ahead.
with that, he will look at the people. You have people that trust you. It almost makes me jealous. And he walks away. As he walks away, he begins to disappear.
And she'll go ahead and get up to her feet and kind of look around. We all ready?
As ready as can be.
Ready, Freddy.
Oh. Chases waits at the foot of the moon bridge.
Well, then it's time to approach the foot of the moon bridge and prep to get on there.
Albert would have nodded.
Yep.
Maeve, you understand that you can fail this. If you do, there isn't anything that I can do. You understand?
I do.
Is what it means to be an adult in the nation. You be taking your first step to that destiny, to that responsibility. The fact that you can fail. Are you ready for that responsibility?
I accept that it is possible, but I'm not ready to fail. I have too many people who are looking to me in this, and I wouldn't want to betray their trust.
Good answer. And he will step aside.
And so I suppose she will lead her merry band onto the moon bridge.
Mm-hmm. You guys start moving up the moon bridge. And as you do, the light changes color. Or begins to. Whereas normally it's a silvery white light that surrounds you as you as you move up. The heavens that are exposed to you instead take on a greenish hue. The stars. For I think this is for some of you, this is the first time that you are on a moon bridge.
Yep, it is for Addie.
For Addie,
Adhara will nod, just like, yeah.
Adhara begins to see that she is leaving the confines of Earth. She is leaving behind the bright blue orb, and the heavens are being exposed to her, probably for the first time.
She's just going to marvel at it a little bit. It's breathtaking, really.
The normally silver hue of the world around you, of the sky surrounding you, begins to take on a green hue. As you reach the apex, as you can look down and swear you could almost brush the moon itself with your fingertips. There's a figure. Standing before you. It looks to be made of roots and vines. Its body, however, is perfectly proportioned. The vines making up its hair. Its fingers, each tipped with a thorn, as it would be a nail if it was human. Down its cheeks seem to flow tiny rivulets of water, as though it is perpetually crying. But it smiles sweetly at you.
Helps if my mic is on. So Maeve will probably be first in line, and thus happy to approach the spirit, offering a curtsy as she does so.
Who are you?
I am Maebh Mac Fionn.
Pretty name. I don't get many visitors here. If you know of this realm,
I am learning of this realm. I have been guided here so that I might seek a blessing.
and what blessing is that?
I must bring back the blessing of spring.
The blessing of spring. The blessing of spring is not an easy task. For the blessing must know that there is room for it, room for the growth that it represents.
I am sure that there is plenty of room in which all of us can grow to accommodate this blessing.
Are you sure?
In the eyes of my people, I am still a child. It is only a matter of course that I have room to grow.
Well, Maebh Mac Fionn. My name is Hadini, the one who flows.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
To pass from this place into the realm where you might seek and find that which you are looking for will require something of each that wish to pass.
And what manner of offering would please you, so that we may pass?
I have no need for gnosis, for spiritual lessons. For my rivers touch all, and through them, something within each of these before me, yourself including, restricts growth, restricts life, restricts the ability to become better. Tell me what
And
that
you-
is.
And she'll kind of look back over the group.
Addie's gonna offer a really weak smile, but like, you can do it. With a little thumbs up if she can, just like a little.
What form is Addie in?
It's more like it's like a head tilt, I guess. Because I forget. I'm pretty sure they're in like lupus, so she's just gonna like face her
Oh,
call, like, yeah, you got this.
okay.
Try to do the human
So she
mannerisms
is
that
in lupus.
I think. I'm not so sure. I'm pretty sure they're over there in lupus, but
It
I'm
is
pretty
up
sure.
to you what form you are in.
Then I'll have her in lupus because she'll probably be more comfortable there.
Okay.
And she's making a human gesture while in lupus.
Or just trying to, just like shrugging.
She gets bapped on the nose by the den father for her trouble.
Damn.
Maeve will actually make eye contact with Addie and kind of beckon her closer.
Addie's going to go closer to Maeve, a little bit away from dead father, like, ow, my nose? Why? Just kind of saunter over towards Maeve and looking up.
You wish me to speak for each of them? What impedes their growth?
Indeed.
Then, at least in Addie's case, I think I can easily say that the greatest hurdle to her growing and taking her place, at least thus far, is her lack of knowledge, or lack of time.
He's gonna turn her head like what?
So perhaps in her case, her greatest hurdle is ignorance.
Ignorance is healed with time.
Many obstacles are. Is this not a satisfactory answer?
No. For her it is satisfactory. Do not look so simply to the next one.
Of course not, Spirit. And she'll probably gesture Addie just a bit further to make room for the next.
Addie will move aside.
We'll probably gesture next to Albert. Assuming that Dan's got his stuff together over there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty. Then yeah, she's gonna gesture at Albert to come up and join her in front of the spirit.
Albert does so, following the lead of Maeve, as this is her time to shine.
In the case of my brother Albert, I would say that the thing that hinders him the most in growing is his eagerness to speak first and perhaps ask questions later. He speaks without thinking, and it has led him into many troubles and led his fellows into many troubles. In order to grow, he will have to take the time to truly think out what he means to say before he lets the words pass his lips.
Your brother lacks wisdom.
Yes.
Next.
Phew. And so she'll probably beckon up Senna next. You Cinna there?
Did I
Sorry,
unmute
I
mine?
had both of them muted.
It's okay. I still like you.
Cinna will walk up.
And so she'll look to the spirit again. My sister Cinna, in a way, much different than Albert. Well, no, I don't think that's it. I think that my sister Cinna clings too hard to her grief and to her guilt, and at times keeps it from letting her move forward.
Hmm.
I've seen this from the time of her first change.
Guilt, when wielded upon oneself, can be a blade most sharp. How would she fix this?
She will have to accept that all of us make mistakes, even mistakes that hurt those around us. But though these things hurt, though they hamper us briefly, they are flaws that we must recognize, and we must continue to move forward, because we will hurt people just as much by halting our growth and by not acting at all.
Next.
Oh, these are getting harder. So out of the two remaining, she's going to, well, besides herself, she's going to waffle a moment, and then finally gesture Lucas up.
Lucas.
Oh,
He
yes.
goes ahead and starts walking and is a bit of a skip. Had a bit of a sharp move in his legs, maybe. If you look at him, you can definitely see that he's mumbling something to himself. He might be singing to himself a song. But
I'm
most
not
of that
even surprised.
stupid gallivanting goes ahead and stops as soon as he is anywhere near this great he who flows.
I think that if there is any flaw that I would have to pick out of my brother Lucas, it is that he is impulsive, sometimes to a dangerous degree. We have done many foolish things together, and were we not so lucky as we were, they could have gone very wrong.
How does one fix foolishness?
With perhaps more credence to the potential consequences rather than the single blinding chance of success. More time spent in thought, more time spent in planning. I'm not saying that.
Um, Next.
And as soon as good old Lucas starts walking away, he goes right back to it.
Oh boy. It's a good thing there weren't more adults on this trip. She'll gesture Olaf up.
The big scarred up gray wolf slowly approaches. Maybe he's taking his time. Maybe his joints are really getting to him these days. You can't quite tell. And he now stands where the others have stood.
Sorry, I needed a second to get myself together. This one, at least, now that she's had time to think about it, Maeve looks fairly decided on. And she'll say, Spirit, my den father's perhaps greatest weakness that prevents him from growing is his willingness to stop, to solve a problem. As has been said by another friend of mine, the den father is overeager to fall on his proverbial sword to take the consequences for others, regardless of how harsh they may be, to solve a problem.
And how can he fix this?
And emboldened slightly by the overall situation, she'll glance down. She's still not going to be quite crazy enough to make, like, flat-out eye contact. But she'll glance down to the wolf and then glance back up again. He needs to recognize that his life is as valuable as those of the people around him, and not throw it away. Sometimes he will have to let others take the consequences of their own actions rather than leaping in and solving the problem in the simple and violent way that may well eventually cost him his life.
Hmm. Then I have it. But first, you.
Of course. I think perhaps the greatest thing that stifles my own growth is my willingness to follow or lean on my companions and to act as an accessory rather than to truly act on my own intuition or ability.
You do not trust your abilities.
I think my fear that I will fail is greater than my belief that I will succeed. And so too often I trust my friends to take those actions for me.
Yes. I have it. the price that each of you will pay.
And she'll tilt her head a bit.
For the next lunar cycle, Luke,
Mhm.
did you acknowledge the spirit?
I was just saying, hey, this is the player here. You got my attention.
Lucas will think for 10 minutes before performing any action. If it is not to save his own life. Do you understand what I am saying?
You are saying any action that... Pardon, I didn't hear the last bit.
That is not to save his own life.
Spirit, that is a high price when it comes to such things as being able to eat or simply move about. Perhaps the cost.
That said, he is impulsive.
He is. He is impulsive. And there are times when he makes his grand plans to do things that he makes them quickly. So perhaps an added 10 minutes to consider the consequences when he makes his grander plans as opposed to every action he takes.
Then what price would you have him pay?
As I said, perhaps a greater time spent, an extra 10 minutes set aside when he plans to do something complex. One of his outings, perhaps, with other people, where he is more likely to make those impulsive decisions. Perhaps an extra 10 minutes set aside at the end of his planning to truly mull over the ways in which this could go wrong, and ways to plan for that as well. God damn it.
Acceptable.
She'll bob her head.
For Cinna, she will for the next moon make no apology for any action she takes.
Whew. Again, Maeve will gesture and say, Great Spirit, there are times when apologies are needed to smooth things among our people. Were she unallowed to apologize, it could mean her life if she happened to misstep in a conversation. We are a very hot-blooded nation. perhaps requiring that she apologize for things promptly as they happened, rather than apologizing for things that have long since passed.
Hmm.
Or perhaps to turn her grief to a more constructive pursuit, spending time with the keepers instead of wallowing in her worries.
Roll me a charisma. Roll me manipulation expression.
Oh. And this is a plant spirit, so I can't call extra. Hmm. Nope. So 4.
The spirit looks at you. What's it? She will make no apology for an action she has taken that is older than a week.
And Maeve will nod and pass this on, because running translation is good when you're making deals for people so that they each know what their cost is.
Cinna is not necessarily walking forward on the bridge.
And she'll pause and look to Cinna.
I need to think on this.
I understand. Just don't cling to apologizing for something that was not your fault, okay? But think about it.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
It's true. So while she debates on whether or not to pass and accept that payment,
Adhara will, for the next lunar cycle, learn one thing that is new to her. Through you, for each moon phase.
I am thinking about how many phases there are, because it's all the way across and back again. Hold on, let me do math. so I can try to keep an idea on how reasonable this is. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. It's either 8 or 9. Actually, for that one, yeah, we can do that. I'll have to do blue booking to do it, since I know availability is a little slim, but we can make that happen.
Out
So-
of character, ST will accept blue booking.
Then yeah, then we should be good. So she'll nod to that one, and hopefully annoy the spirit a little less by interrupting every single one.
Farah's just gonna nod along in the back. It's just like, yeah, totally, I can do this.
Yeah, she gets translated essentially that we're gonna have a lot more class time. You and I are gonna we're gonna be seeing a lot of each other.
Not a terrible thing.
Albert, for the next lunar cycle, must be invited to speak. For it is when we listen that there is the most potential for growth.
And you know what? All things considered, this is the closest thing Maeb's gonna ever get to revenge for Wolfhome. So she's gonna take it. And yeah, he has a point. But he's already gotten a lot better about that, but she will pass that on to Albert.
Albert will nod, and he's glad it wasn't as bad as Olaf's band or Teeth's band. So he's good. He's good on the band. It's fine.
Make sure that you commit it to mind, because even an accidental violation is still a violation.
Albert will nod, not saying anything.
And she will turn to the spirit and actually see if she can add a small qualifier. May acknowledgement act as permission to speak for the sake of this ban? Because many of our people will look for answers with little more than a nod in the person's direction.
Roll me that expression manipulation.
Whew.
That looks like 4 successes.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Spirit. You are being very generous.
It must be personal acknowledgement.
Of course. And she will pass that on because, dear Lord, at least it helps keep from accidental slipping.
Olaf.
Lumber, 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 la 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 lumber, he lumbers over.
Like,
Will, for the next lunar cycle, take no blame except that which is brought upon him justly by others.
I was going to say I'm looking for loopholes here, but this actually sounds really good. Especially with the qualifier of justly. So yeah, she'll. And actually, he has spirit speech, doesn't he?
He does.
Does he look especially worried about this?
The justly was used, which implies that if he did do wrong and it is proven, then you just accept that you were convicted of a thing. You can tell the Philodox is focusing on the word justly.
All right. Now Maeve is gonna embrace.
He just kind of looks at Maeve after that, just stares at her.
She's not making eye contact. Are you crazy?
Sorry.
Nope.
Not today.
Nope. You're gonna take this ban and you're gonna like it.
Maeve. What price do you think you should pay?
I think, Spirit, that when a task is brought to me, of which I may be capable but fearful of failure, I should not let that fear of failure still me and cause me to turn that task on another person.
I'm sorry, what was that?
She basically said that in tasks that are brought to me, of which I am capable, I should not let a fear of failure cause me to turn it to another person.
Not to qualify that.
I'm trying to think on the better way to phrase it.
You will refuse no task brought to you 3 times. If others believe you capable, then you should be.
And she'll nod. There's a fair ban, Spirit. Alright.
So, and the spirit takes a step back. All those who step forward from this point take upon themselves the deal you have wrought for them.
And Maeve will run translation.
Make your decision now.
Then Maeve is going to go ahead and step forward, not move further than that yet. And look back to see who is coming and who is not.
Olaf's certainly coming.
Albert steps forward.
Lucas doesn't dance and skip, but approaches.
Oh god. Don't scare me like that.
Cinna stays.
You there, Maya?
She said she'd be right back. If she's
Oh, okay. I missed it.
Maeve,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that the deal you made for me wasn't good. It's that I know that I can't live up to that.
With the things that are coming up, I understand. Don't beat yourself up. I really do understand.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'll be happy to see you when we get back.
Cinna will nod. Look at the rest of them and look at the spirits. I'll offer spirit respect as well, and then we'll walk back.
So now we will take care of you in a second.
Oh dear. That doesn't sound good.
Can I assume that at least so far as we can see, she's making it back down the bridge all right?
Yes.
Okay. And I am assuming, since the player seemed good with it, that Eddie is coming.
I'll be right back. Okay.
Oh, fortuitous. I'm going to step up for a second too, real fast.
This is the intermission song. We've only got one particular verse, but we use it whenever the SD decides to leave for a quick second. And now a word from our sponsor, Bob.
Oh, all right. We're doing this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Living World of Darkness is a live-action role-playing community. You can look them up on Facebook. We have werewolf venue, guru venue, obviously. Mage, demon, changeling. I feel like I'm missing one.
It's like vampire,
Vampire.
right? There
I
you go.
missed vampire.
There is
And,
Leech venue.
and technically even hunter venue. Um, very easy to get a hold of. Just look up Living World of Darkness on Facebook. And from there you can find all manner of contact information. In fact, we have one of their administrators right here in the room with us. It's a real fun time. Get to meet people you had likely never met before, or maybe had even caught a glimpse of on YouTube for about 5 minutes before you went on to watch your Narutos and your DBZs and your latest fail videos.
No. I think for it's a very specific tagline. Meet new people and then rage at them.
Yep. Yeah, if you're in Groove Venue, Rage is the order of the day, as is Pretend Arson. But no, I've been a member of this community since last September, believe it or not, and I've had a blast. So come on down. We will be happy to meet you.
I'd like to think that pretend arson has something to do with pretend theft and identity theft, where you steal someone's wallet but don't do anything with it. No, actually, no, scratch that. I know what pretend identity theft is. It's where you act as you're someone you know in real life, but in here.
Jeez. Cheesy Pete.
So, speaking of cheesy pizza, I could go for some cheesy pizza. Yeah.
I had some very cheesy pizza last Sunday, actually.
So, I'm thinking like the Village Pizza Place over on Nassau Run.
I wouldn't know about it, but I feel like everybody.
That place is a little bit too heavy for me.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like everybody has like that one local, and I mean like truly local pizza joint, and to them that will always be the best pizza. It might not always be for the cheesiness, it might not always be for the grease or the tomato sauce or the toppings or the service or the sides or the I'm just hungry now. But
it's like, who was the person that was complaining about food earlier? Sasuke was.
So hungry. But usually they'll latch on to one aspect of that pizza. Like, no matter what commercial pizza they have, this pizza has the best blank. When in reality, what they're attached to, regardless of whether the pizza was any good or not, is the familiarity, the memory of home. And they've connected this intimate thing in the universe, this act of eating to sustain our lives, with this equally intimate memory of home, to the point where they're almost the one and the same. And that's what leads
Why
to
America's fat right now.
That too. But other than obesity, what it leads to is this idea that no, my local pizza was the best of pizzas. In reality, who knows?
It's like I just like Village Seafood because they got they have like fishes on the pizza. They have literal fish on the pizza. Yeah, no. Not just anchovies, but you're like amateur fish, like real pieces of fish, because we have a fishing community. Also, ice cream. Who wants some ice cream?
With sprinkles.
And caramel.
And whipped cream.
And bananas, because we want those calories full of empty vitamins.
Oh, man.
I'm not so big a fan of banana, but now I do need to get myself ice cream.
I'm going to pose this to you guys, all right? Follow me on. Any of you like pie?
Cherry pie.
All right. Do any of you like cheese?
Look, pizza is already a cheese pie, but please keep going.
No, man, you got to take a fruit pie, specifically apple, make sure it's piping hot, and then lay out American cheese or whatever equivalent you can muster on top of the piping hot apple pie, and you eat that. It is delicious.
No.
I feel like I might get a
Yes.
heart
You
attack.
say this, but no.
I'm-
First of all, American cheese sounds wrong on so
It is
many
wrong.
levels. Being a Dutchman, I have to say American cheese just sounds wrong.
American cheese is not really cheese. It's
I mean,
No, I figured.
It's
you
pretend
can have
cheese,
a different
just like
cheese
pretend
of your
arson.
choosing. You can have a different cheese of your choosing, but I'm telling you, this is it. This is your choice, man. You're Arate 3 seeking. You have to at least make a choice about this cheese pie.
I'm so happy I'm still at Arate 1 and I don't need to pick that.
Oh, come on. Lose yourself. I mean, you've already lost a lot of yourself running around the streets. I'm just glad you didn't do it naked this time.
Hi.
Don't get me wrong, I appreciate a nice redhead streaking through the streets, but we might lose you as a character afterwards.
Been there, done that, didn't get a t-shirt.
We're not.
Anyway, I think intermission time is over.
yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
pretty
I
sure
was waiting for the
myself.
SD to come up. I'll shut my stuff up now.
Intermission is over. All right. So, Cinna, we will get back to you as you are currently walking back. However, majority are still walking forward. As you descend deeper, oh, we have lost our
Yeah.
passagee, as it were. There we go.
Feedback.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. As you descend lower, the green light surrounding you becomes deeper. The surrounding area becomes darker. It's almost as if you're underground when you reach the bottom. You are underground, but not really. As if you look above you, there is a canopy. There's not any normal canopy. Not of leaves, the roots of trees. The canopy above you is of interlacing roots. You can't really tell where one root system begins, one ends. Through the patches left by some, you can see a deep blue sky. Oddly, with no stars. Go ahead, roll me perception alertness, everyone.
Does the lupus bonus count for this?
Yeah, if you're in lupus, bonus counts.
That would be 4 successes. I'm rolling on my other screen.
Yeah.
5.
Not a botch. Yeah, Olaf can see a tick farting on a goat's ass. But Addie, go ahead, roll me your perception alertness.
Okay, next one's that. Okay, what the hell? Sorry, Google's doing some weird. Yes. Continue. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I doing that right? Okay. Bing, bing. What's the difficulty?
4, because you are in lupus.
Sweet! I've got 5 out of 6.
Nice.
Thank you. No, what did exactly?
Okay.
Well, I only know German. I'm sorry, I only learned German. I mean, sure, there is a Greek class I could have taken, but German.
Okay. So, I'm just going to make this really easy. You got more than 2 successes.
Hi.
Hi.
I think it was, what, Dan, Bob, and Maya?
Hold on.
I believe we are, I don't know.
Hold on. Okay.
I don't even know. My life's a lie. Don't mind me.
No, it's just so Saskia can go to bed and not worry that I'm throwing shit at her.
Jump into the next scene! Roar!
Leap!
No, it's
Leap
four
like a
a.m.
freak!
It's 4
I'm
a.m.
free! Free as a bird! A cyber bird!
It's 4 a.m. over there. Go to sleep.
Have fun, guys. Don't do stuff I wouldn't do.
Okay, it's a tiny list.
Good night.
Night night.
Drink tea.
Okay. So, who got more than 2 successes?
I
did.
Addie.
Okay.
5 out of 6 ain't bad.
What did Maeve get?
Oh, I only got one.
Go.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel. Can you exit out of your computer or whatever you're using?
I think it's just echoing on his phone. He'll have to mute himself when he's not talking.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that's the one he's actually using.
Fair. Okay.
But yeah, I only got one.
Those with 2 successes. Or less. 1 to 2 successes. See almost flickers of light. Who got more than 3 successes?
Addie?
I think I want to say Dan got like 4. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it looks like Dan got.
Yeah, 4 successes.
Alright. So, those with 3, they're in pairs. The eyes. Or the lights. They look like eyes. Anybody who got 4 or more successes can sort of see that there are shadows within the root system that is above you and sort of surrounds you in odd spiraling trees.
Cool.
Shadows make up vague shapes. You can't really tell what they are exactly. You know that they're there.
Yep, so Maeve is oblivious and just looking around in idle wonder. Because, hey, look, little flickers of happy light.
Yeah, to Maeve they look like fireflies.
They are very pretty.
Albert just kind of looks around, rather curious. He sticks close to Maeve, but he doesn't say anything because he wasn't told there was any danger. So he trusts his, the person who's leading him.
Oi, Maebh.
Hmm?
Stay sharp. Never been to this part of the Umbra before. Remember, this is a place of concept, yes?
Yes?
Means literally anything can kill you.
And she'll knit her brow and think back to the trip to the glacier as it went somewhat similarly, and kind of look around a little more suspiciously, but reach down, take off her sandals, and venture a step forward just to see if anything comes of it.
You ever walk on moss?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're walking on.
Squishy.
Sort of springy, not quite grass, not quite ground.
Squish.
I don't know, she just gets it into her head that it seems more respectful to walk barefoot. At least for the moment. There's no thorns. And she'll kind of glance back to Olaf, like, I mean, do you see anything in particular? It just looks nice.
I don't trust the lights.
Furrow her brow a little. Probably glance towards Lucas, actually.
Okay, you go ahead and glance towards Lucas. Lucas is pretty damn oblivious to what the lights are currently doing. But he'll go ahead and just turn around. It is my auspicious duty to go ahead and ask you a question. Do you know where we're going, good ma'am?
We are looking for the oldest tree. That's all I've got right now. Actually, and she'll kind of glance around while Katie reads how that rite works to see if it's even remotely likely. Ugh, I didn't get a name for it though. So I can't do that. But still, if there are any rocks or pebbles nearby, she'll just pick one up and hold it for now, in case she does manage to get the information to make...
There are no rocks or pebbles.
Well, darn. Then she won't do that.
If we do not
Now,
know...
we are looking for the oldest tree.
Okay. What are the characteristics of a very, very old tree? Probably height and just the very width of the trunk. So you got a few options. Either we trek this trail and see if it doesn't lead us up on a hill that we can get a better veranda, or we take a chance and somebody up to go ahead and look.
Maeve will look to the nearby trees. How many of them are feasibly climbable? And how many of them are awake and looking at her?
None are awake or looking at you.
So she'll kind of glance to whatever the closest tree is, and then glance to Lucas and quirk her brow. You up for some climbing?
Sure, definitely.
Regabash it up.
All right. Lucas is going to go ahead and approach this big tree. Describe it for me. How high can it get? Let's look at the branches. If there are any branches.
There are no branches. It looks like a spiraling column of roots.
A spiraling column of roots. Okay. Okay.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like the spiraling column of roots? Actually, this is a fucking pillar, isn't it? Alright. Does it look like you can use these spirals as quick handholds and footholds?
You can certainly try.
Alright. Now,
Wait a
before...
minute.
What?
You did say that it was a big spiraling tree. Are any of the other nearby trees built similarly?
All of them are that you can see.
Well, darn it. I mean,
Alright.
Albert can, like, make eye contact and try to provoke acknowledgement if he is looking to say something. Does he have, like, is he doing the pee-pee dance over there?
No, he's just kind of looking around, seeing if he can see anything that would kind of
Okay.
point them in that direction. He's not the most knowledgeable about spirits.
Well, and Maeve can't see the shadows, so she can't approach them. But yeah, she'll... Never mind. I was hoping that was cool and awesome, but it's just one of the local trees, so go for it.
Don't worry. My good sir, may I go ahead and use the gift Brother's Scent before I try this maneuver?
Remind me what Brother Scent does again?
Brother Scent goes ahead and pretty much tells people who see me, I'm totally supposed to be here. I totally belong here. My presence shouldn't bring you any sort of hostility or concern. Very nice.
Seems like a good gift to have when you're a Lucas.
Okay. Go ahead. Spend that gnosis and roll me appearance sympathy.
Wonderful. May I add my pure breed, or am not?
Nope.
Alright, rolling. 1 success.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, nose is spent. Boom. And now I'm going to go ahead and take a trek up this tree.
Okay. Go ahead, roll me dexterity athletics.
Can do, good sir.
Maeve is going to move to hover at the bottom in case he makes a graceless exit by some chance.
Depending on the difficulty. 4 successes.
4 successes. You get a good way up the tree. In fact, you get up almost to the root. Or to the top of the tree.
Do I break the canopy yet?
You can try to break the canopy.
Alright, I'm going to try to get over and see if I can't pop my head out of what I presume to be just clouds in a sea of green.
As soon as you pop your head up, instead of hearing instead of seeing sky, which you think you would look out at, you're looking up at Maeve and Addie and Olaf.
I have popped my head out of the moss, haven't I?
And everyone hears a rustle, and Lucas's head pops up.
I'm not even going to roll to save myself. I'm just going to go, ah!
Lucas goes ahead and
like
waves.
Maeve is going to jump half out of her skin.
Lucas
Crap,
goes ahead.
Lucas!
He just waves. So, apparently if you go above the tree line, it just takes you here.
Eddie's gonna go.
Would somebody like to help me up? He says, reaching out.
Eddie's gonna go forward towards him and just kind of put her paw on the top of his head and try to push down. See if it works backwards.
No. Don't. No, ma'am.
Just curious to see if it works backwards.
If he falls out of that tree, I will be very
Lucas
vexed.
tries to hold on to the edges of this moss, I'm going to go ahead and say, and try to scramble his way up.
Hurry over to try to help him out and bat it at his paw. Like, oh God, why?
Well, if he went up and he came back from down, it's a little weird. She wants to know if physics works like that. At least where they are.
Okay, so that answers that question. Sending somebody up to go ahead and scout out from a tree, not an option. So you're left with trekking the trail.
When you guys pull Lucas out, you hear this.
Okay, now that makes Addie jump out of her skin. She's just like, what the fuck?
From all around you.
Maeve is looking everywhere.
As the lights begin to dance.
Yo, Addie knew something was wrong with those lights. She's not happy. She's not happy.
Well, at least they're happy now?
Maebh, that is not always a good thing.
I know. Can't fault me for trying to look on the bright side.
And he's just gonna go against Maeve. Just okay. But she's so not happy about those laughters. No.
So Maeve is going to step forward a bit from the group and just call out because fuck it. And she has spirit speech, so it should work. God damn it, Bob. Don't laugh at me. So yeah, Mabel's actually just to see if it'll work, will manifest a point of gnosis in her palm and ask the open air, would any of you be willing to serve us as a guide in this place?
One of the lights, or a pair of lights, stops dancing. And it walks forward. Bob, you've seen the
Me.
face before
Yeah.
of this.
Olaf remembers the Alfar quite well.
Huh? What was that?
Alfar quite well. Am I not coming through?
No. Olaf recognizes the face that walks forward. But the last time you saw it, it was about 30 feet tall. Now, it looks something like a dwarf.
Sorry, I lost the last bit of that. It looks what?
Something like a dwarf, made of wood.
Last time I saw it was 30 feet tall. Now Bob's having issues remembering.
And it waddles forward. It has a very small body, a very long head, and it looks like there's chewing tobacco between its wooden lips. And if, as to fulfill the illusion, it reaches up and it plucks the gnosis from your hand and puts it in between its lip.
She won't stop it. That's so good. I can't even.
Yes, well, my name, to those that don't know me, some do. I've met a few of you, yes. I didn't expect to see you here. You are
I'm just
alone.
gonna glance around. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You are a long way from the Shept of the Green. I am Astra Fusta.
It's good to see you again, honorable spirit.
It's good to see you too, boy. So, what brings Garo of the Shept of the Green to this place, the Court of Growth?
And Maeve will very briefly shoot Olaf a what the fuck face because she wishes she knew what she was talking to. And we'll finally bob her head respectfully to the spirit. I come here seeking a blessing for the sept.
Yes. What kind of blessing?
I have been sent to seek the blessing of spring.
Astrofusta's eyes kind of go wide for a second. The blessing of spring. It's not me that you need to talk to.
No, but I would much appreciate being shown the right direction.
Clearly, it is your first time in this realm. For all directions lead to where you are going.
She kind of tilts her head.
Because all roots eventually lead to the tree they come from.
And she'll glance around to all the presumed trees. And just kind of look in awe of them. All of these are just roots?
Yes. I am but a sapling compared to the spirit that you will be speaking to.
And she's periodically checking Olaf's expression since he's the only gauge she has as far as the spirit goes.
I'll give it to you. Whatever relationship your den father has had with this spirit, it was a positive one. It is very obvious that insofar as a guru can trust a spirit, and the fact that he personally addressed it as honorable spirit, he puts an amount of trust in Astrofusa.
Well, okay. Then I guess she will bow her head again and say, I thank you for the advice. Is there... And she'll kind of again glance around to what are all just roots? Say, is there any particular route that is best advised?
Stay out of the shadows.
And just to clarify, how much of this place is in shadows? I got the impression that it was mostly shadow with just some light breaking through.
There seems to be scattered light everywhere. But there is a lot of shadow.
So yeah, she'll look around and kind of take that in.
For all directions lead to where you are going.
If one is lost here, they will remain lost forever.
Hmm. I'm gonna look something up real fast while Maeve is thinking. And of course they don't say, because that would have been way too easy. Looks like it's usually 50.
What's usually 50?
I am looking up how many seeds are usually in a seed packet. Because Trail of Crumbs for the win. Though I need to check real fast. And it does not cost Gnosis, so I can totally do this. Whew.
So you're planning to go ahead and leave a breadcrumb?
I was debating using the seeds and using Rite of Growth to leave essentially a flower trail. Though if Lucas has his bag, she might reconsider this.
Hey, that bag's not dedicated to him, no.
I really need to do... I need to get you a satchel or something.
You need to get me a magpie swag, that's what you need to do.
I need to get both of us a magpie swag.
But
So yeah,
you don't have to necessarily start sprouting stuff. I mean, this realm will probably like that. But what you can also do is simply musk the seeds with a certain scent that we can smell. That way you don't have to rely specifically on visual cues. Wait a second. Time out. When you say musk, are you particularly referring to urinating on them? Shush you. You're not real.
Oh Lord, you're both fired. So Maeve will again express her appreciation to the spirit. Well, I have fresh pizza. Sorry.
Hmm?
Sorry, we just got our pizza, so I'm like trying to think and eat and talk enough that it's not leaving long intermissions.
Nom nom faster.
I'm trying, but it's melty cheese. So yes,
priorities. Cheese or game? Cheese or game? Hard choice, and I don't envy you. Cheese, though.
So what are we gonna do?
She will, because there's no harm in asking. She'll say, I don't suppose you are so disposed as to guide us to where we need to go directly, or to give further information on whatever lurks in the shadows?
You heard what lurks in the shadows, but I am no guide. It is not my place. You will have to continue here by yourself and trust in your ability to see a way
You've been very kind, Master Fusta. Thank you.
Robert,
Yes.
quick question. What happens when I take out that compact mirror that I've got and try to shine the light that we currently have in front of us?
What?
You know that compact mirror that we've got?
You mean the one that pops into the Tellurian realm and stays there once you fall past?
Oh, I thought we dedicated that.
No.
Mine is dedicated.
Yours is
Cool.
dead.
Alright, fair enough. Next time I get around to blue booking, I'll go ahead and do that. But I'll simply go ahead and poke her and like make the mimic of a mirror.
She'll pull it out and offer it to him.
Shining the light in front of us. What happens? Anything special?
Go ahead. Give me a survival. Give me a dexterity survival.
Alright, cool.
See if you can direct the light enough.
May I spend a willpower?
No, not for this.
Alright, cool. Let's see. Na da 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 da. Doing a quick check. Do 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 do. Na da 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 da. Yes. Do do do. Rolling. Hey! 2 successes.
You can reflect the light. And when you reflect the light into the shadows, you hear a rustling and a hiss.
A rustling and a hiss.
Yep.
Do I hear any more noises coming in our direction? Or do I hear a collection of hissing?
A collection of hissing.
Okay.
Is it rustling away from the light or in place as if agitated but not moving?
In place as if agitated but not moving.
Yeah. Handing the mirror back. That's what happens when that happens. I'm sorry, Maeve. I can only go ahead and test the boundaries that are in front of me.
It was a good idea. So let's take a moment and assess, and maybe we'll point out to the others that what they're looking for is a series of routes that, at least as far as they can see, stays as close to the beams of light as possible. And that will serve as our trail.
So you're looking at the light and trying to figure out a trail. Roll me perception, primal urge.
So just Maebh or everyone?
Everyone.
She is telling everyone so everyone can join in.
Perception primal?
Perception, primal urge. Yeah.
Gonna take my time to go and pop into Lupus for this one.
Okay. You won't be able to do this first roll.
Okay, fair enough. Do 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 do. Na 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 na.
Maeve, you don't see it.
That's 2 successes.
Yeah. Albert does not see it either.
4 successes.
What did Addie roll?
I'm looking for my primal urge. Can't find it.
It is under talents in your abilities.
Okay. I'm not there, so
It's a 0
just for them.
What was that?
I think it may be a 0 because it's not on her list.
Yeah. She can still do
So
it,
at that
though.
point, you just roll the.
Yeah.
Just 2 4s.
Yeah, you don't see it either.
Womp womp.
Olaf, however, you can see a clear path of light with very little shadow that seems to circle different routes and continue on into the shadow.
I'll take point. And with the cocksure confidence and pride of the Fenrir, Olaf heads down the path that he has cited, obviously expecting the others to bravely follow.
For the sake of argument, as they begin to follow, is Master Fusta still there, or has he moved on?
Astrofusta has moved on.
Okay, good. I didn't want to be like, okay, thanks, bye, walks away from. So. As they are moving along and getting to about where they would lose sight of the base of the moon bridge, Maebh, go ahead and pluck out the little packet of flowers and pluck out one of the seeds and drop it down and wonder briefly just to see if it'll take root on its own, because this is a pretty fucking growthy place.
We're gonna see here. It does not take root.
So she'll take the moment's pause to trace a small triangle in the moss. Oh my. Trace a small triangle in the moss and let's see. Yep. Basically plop down, trace a triangle, scoop up the seed, indent into the moss with her thumb slightly, and drop the seed in it, and do her little song and dance, as it were.
You're gonna do this how many times?
At least for the moment, just the once, and hopefully only as we are on the verge of losing sight of the last. Figured I'd see how feasible it was. I was hoping they'd kind of take root on their own. And thankfully it doesn't cost any gnosis, so... So yay! Flower! And if nothing else, we'll feel accomplished having done it even the once, just to give them a marker for the end, and then hop up and hurriedly chase after the rest.
You need 3 people to do the right with you.
No, well, poop. Sorry, Katori. Totally cheated when he showed it to me. Then never mind. She'll drop the seed, look mildly disappointed when it doesn't root. Carefully pluck it back up and place it back in the sachet, and just trust in Den Daddy's nose and eyes. And hurry after him.
Yeah, you need 3 people to hold hands in a triangle around you.
Well, very well.
Or around the seed, sorry.
Do they all need to know the right?
No, just the right master. Like the one performing the rite, not the rite.
We got you.
So you can do that if you want. It's just going to take a little while.
Well, here's a real question: will it test the ST's patience?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, if they, if it's obvious nobody is following Olaf will wait, this is, at the end of the day, Maeb's show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Maeve will probably snag the two closest then, and yoink them, and and especially for
Snag
Addie's
their
sake.
shifts.
Well, actually, that's true. Who's in Hamid?
No one.
Just the two. Well, darn it. Just me. Well, crap. Well, the two closest.
Easy
I mean,
enough.
I did shift once I got yoinked.
Easy
Okay.
enough. If we go ahead and take our time to go ahead and go back to Hamid, and go ahead and hold hands and do a song and dance.
Yep.
Greed is reflexive anyway.
This is true. So yeah, if nothing else, she'll probably instruct Addie to watch. And that way she can,
Learn something.
Yep.
I was just gonna settle down and watch.
Go ahead, roll your rituals and wits. Wits rituals.
I'm so sad I had such a good roll the first time. That's okay.
Down your rituals and wits.
Difficulty 3.
Oh, well shit.
Nice.
Don't fuck up.
Yeah.
If I manage to fuck up on difficulty 3, I have wronged the gods.
So many gods. Just in case.
All of them.
Say sorry. Just in case, say sorry before you do this. Just in case.
No, it's good. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I get a flare.
Yay. I sort of see her die. It's like all pixely.
Because you do that, it grows. However, normally, how the rite works is each success guarantees the plant's survival for 1 month.
Yeah, it says you get, what, like a little teeny sprout or something instead of an actual full growth. Yeah, a small green shoot. Teh.
Mm-hmm.
I had hopes that since it was here, it might take better effect. So,
It
hot
will.
diggity.
A bright purple-violet comes out.
Bloop.
Aww. Bloop. Bloop. Ugh, I don't want to do this.
All right.
She'll go ahead and move on and wait until they've gotten a good bit of a stretch of a way to do it again. And if you want, just tell me how many times it'll take, like, to get fully out of sight of the last. And I'll just go through and do the rolls. So you don't have to stop every time.
Oh no, you're on.
Is this path in addition to the light, so
So, you guys continue around. You circle quite a few of these root columns. It's a good while. It's a good journey. You guys are pretty much on the right path here. When you start to see a lightening of the columns, there's not as many. There is the amount is lessening. The path of light, Olaf, if you want to roll me another perception primal urge.
Sure do, good buddy. Three successes this time.
The path begins to widen. It widens until essentially you all can walk side by side instead of one after the other.
Cool.
The columns lessen and lessen until finally you get to a clearing. The canopy above you begins to arch upward. And it arches into unknown height to where you can actually see clouds hovering above you in sort of a sea green sky. There's a twirling, spiraling of roots that come down, and they sort of open up into one of those bird nests. Bird's nest chair, if you know what it looks like.
Well, I do. I lust for one deeply.
And within the almost womb-like structure sits a figure. You cannot directly identify whether it is male or female. The hair that seems to hide a majority of its face looks as though it's made of silver leaves. As it sort of pools around the figure within, you would almost call it a throne. Pools. It goes outward. To any onlooker, it would look as though it's just a pile of leaves that's around this place. But you can see that they rustle each time the figure moves its head.
How massive is this figure?
It isn't massive at all. In fact, it looks as though if it decided to leave this place, it would be as tall as a guru in Krynos.
Well then, time to snap back to breed form. And as we're approaching, is it in any way acknowledging as we're breaking into this open area?
Yes, it looks at you.
And once I've got into, like, kind of clearly into the cleared area and out into its gaze, Maeve will pause long enough to go into a full curtsy and greeting.
Hmm. Its eyes are closed, but it tilts its head in your direction. I smell Gaia's children. I smell Guru.
You do, honored spirit.
Why?
Sorry, did it say why?
Mm-hmm.
I have been sent here and into this realm on my rite of passage to seek a blessing for my sept.
You smell of a scar. The place you come from is barely green. What blessing can I bestow upon a place that barely embraces my kind?
It is, as you say, a small last bastion, but it is all that we have. I have been sent to seek out the blessing of spring.
A blessing of spring. Why do you seek this out?
To be honest, honored spirit, I had not heard of it before I was sent, and I was sent to fulfill my rite of passage.
Which tribe would you call your home?
What do I call my home?
What
The Sept of
tribe?
the Green?
What
I
tribe
would...
call your home?
Oh. I would call the Fianna my tribe. Would they let me?
Hmm. Hmm. This does not seem like it would be an apt test of luck. Or is it very
It
wise
is.
to come to this place? You are being tested on your skill. Your skill as a theurge. Am I correct?
You are, honored spirit.
Hmm. Why?
She tilts her head faintly.
Why should I bless your sept? Certainly other areas in the world could make better use of this blessing. Rather let the scar consume what is left. You are fighting a losing battle. So why?
Perhaps there are other areas where there is greater distance, more people, more wild to feel your touch. But this sept hidden inside the scar, it has a greater need for such a blessing to help withstand the constant assault from all sides.
There are other ways to resist that one. And the face, even though its eyes are still closed, the face faces Albert. That one. He smells of the resistance. He smells of
She
uncorrupted pattern.
blink. There, sorry, I was fighting with my thing for a second. He does.
Hmm. Why not resist as his people do? Why let it wild? So few have forgotten it. So few even remember it's still there.
Perhaps all the more reason that the wild should be brought to life in the place that we live, to remind the Guru there of your presence.
Hmm. And yet you have forgotten the tree.
The tree?
The tree.
I have not forgotten it, spirit.
Where is its protection?
Its protection lays in the hands of other spirits. Many. Some of whom I was there to witness their calling and binding to that cause.
Where are its spirit wards? Where are its guardians?
Should I be given the permission and granted my adulthood, I mean to try to act as one of its guardians myself. Sadly, I cannot but so much influence those above me until I am seen as more than a child. But I too have noticed the lack of Garu to defend that place and to watch it. And it pains me to see it go neglected in that way. The spirits are capable, but it is not the duty of the spirits.
Not the sole duty of the spirits. Again, I would ask, what proof have I that I should not let those fields die? That I should not let the grass grow fallow? And flowers sleep eternal? Why?
Great Spirit, there are small places where the wild is treasured and kept to the best of our ability. I've been to the grounds of the conservatory. I have walked through it many times in the Umbra and reveled in the life that wells there. I would hate to see such a thing wither away.
And what would you give me?
In exchange for growth for my sept. She actually kind of draws in a bit. She's been thinking on the subject, but this one isn't coming as quickly as some offers do. What manner of offering would most greatly appeal to you, Spirit?
That is not the question.
Apologies. And she kind of, well, she's going to kind of stumble over this because Katie is low on ideas. She'll reach idly into her pocket and pull out the little packet and kind of fiddle with idly, thinking.
Is my realm not pretty enough?
Oh no, Spirit, I would never imply such a thing.
You have grown something once within my realm. Would
I
you
have.
prefer to tell me what should grow here?
I never meant to offend you, Spirit. I merely thought it a way to trace our steps without adding something to this place that would be wrong to leave in here. I apologize for my misstep.
There was no misstep. What would you offer? Even
If you
us,
would bring... Oh, sorry.
even spirits such as myself can grow bored.
Oh, crap. I'm digging... Oh, thank you.
That was to Maya. To her
Oh,
question, what
damn it.
means a spirit?
Oh, well, poop.
Oh, cool. She doesn't have spirit lore, so she'll just roll intelligence. What the hell are they doing? Sorry, not you guys.
I'm dying a little because the spring equinox already passed, so...
876.
You don't know what would entertain this spirit.
Oh well.
May I make a roll?
You can make a roll, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Like, even for a vague gist, I would be very happy. I got a 10 and a 9.
Nope.
Yay. Darn. In exchange for the bringing of life back into the sept, I could offer to go into the scar and try to bring further life into that place that is dead and gray.
How?
There are many places where small gardens can be grown. Many people who would be grateful to have assistance in the keeping of the small pieces of land that they claim for their own and then neglect. It would be a long working, and it would take me many times into the scar, but it would be worth it to please you and to bring further life into the sept itself.
That which is worth doing is worth doing well. And that which is worth doing well is often hard to do.
If it is hard, then I will have to do it harder. It will be hard to find places, but I am sure that with the time, with the effort, with the help of my friends, I can find these places. I can clear up the eyesores that are left abandoned and replace them with green.
Hmm. That's what I was thinking. You will extend the influence of the spirits of the sept you will bring me new places within the scars so spirits of growth may flourish. How often
And she'll kind of cast a glance at this point to probably Lucas, because she knows that he uses the net more and is it just generally in the city more. Lucas, how hard is it? I've seen that many times places that have been abandoned or dubbed useless are turned into playgrounds and gardens and the like in the city. How hard would it to be to find small places and to get the permissions to turn them into something for, and she'll air quote, the betterment of the city?
Lucas will go ahead and murmur out loud. Well, I believe what you would first need to do is see if you had anybody in the Park and Recreation Center of New York City and their department. I believe, as the spirit. Actually, I didn't hear that conversation, so I believe that many of the Glasswalkers and the Silverfangs often enough have that kind of hold. As far as finding places that are just literally abandoned projects, there are many that are littered across the city. And Robert, feel free to step in and tell me I'm bullshitting.
you wanna roll your intelligence streetwise.
All right, may spend a willpower.
Sure.
All right then, rolling. Holy
Albert.
crap! 5 successes.
You're not bullshitting.
Okay, fair enough.
Actually, he kind of looks up, kind of towards Maeve intentionally.
Yeah, since he did mention the Glasswalkers, she'll nod and say, "Yeah, Albert."
I believe with the right amount of with people with resources can make offers to the right people, find the right people, come into ownership of these places, and then, as far as working with zoning, that takes more, but resources help, and my resources are always at the disposal of the Sept.
This is a situation where you'll need to talk to the elders of the Sept, who have more control over the city, and convince them to devote their time and their effort to, what did the spirit say? You're looking to Maebh because he doesn't have...
Creating bastions for its children, for spirits of growth to take root in the city.
For that, yes, definitely. You can dress it up as a community cleanup project. There is actually, I passed a skate park one day that was just completely devoid of life. Dig up the concrete, replace it with a garden, and you're good.
Do you think this is something that I could achieve, even a small place, within a month's time, and perhaps work towards larger projects?
Oh, for the love of... I have an apartment in Chinatown. And in the apartment, there's a part of the roof that each tenant gets. You can start there. And now you all know about my apartment in Chinatown, never getting any damn piece.
No. Well, because I had gestures to Olaf Raya is extending his own services to help you with this one.
I just don't want to make a promise I can't keep, so I thought I would check.
Start there with rooftop gardens, and of course, talk to the elders, convince them that this is something important. We are getting the blessing of spring.
I would hope so. So she'll finally... Oh? She'll finally turn back to regard the spirit and say, I should be able to do the first. Well, I will start very soon, but it should be completed within the month. I can do this probably for each month of spring, if that will appease you. Create a new garden, a new place for the spirits that you favor to take rest.
This is acceptable. Regardless of the outcome of your discussion, have one of request one of your elders contact me so that I know you have spoken to them about this. Do that and consider our deal struck.
I will speak to the right master as soon as I return, spirit.
See that you do. And there's a rustling, a shaking, and you feel a thunk at the top of your head.
Link?
It tumbles down your head, lands on the mossy ground.
Is it anything she could catch by chance?
Please
As
tell me it's an
begins to
apple.
tumble?
Go ahead, roll me dexterity athletics, I guess.
Sorry, you said Lucas?
No, you.
Oh.
Dexterity athletics.
Okay, sorry. My shit's going in and out, so I'm having special moments.
Seems like you got it.
Yay! What did I catch?
A white acorn.
Oh, very well. And she will stuff the little seed sachet, which was pinched between her fingers, back into her pocket in favor of cradling the acorn.
Eddie's just gonna smile at the symbolism of the acorn, just because, mythology.
She will again curtsy deeply.
Leave. I'm tired. I need to sleep.
And Maeve is going to promptly about face and obey the spirit.
Alright.
Albert follows Maeve's lead.
Yep. Maeve will translate that last bit and be like, okay, time to go by.
Addie will also promptly follow her lead. Just let us go. Outski.
Yeah, Olaf has spirit speech. He knows when to leave.
Time to make like a tree, and we leave.
Addie makes a mental note to just bop Lucas
I feel
when they
like
get back.
the world is going to kill you. Why would you do that? Why would you make a tree pun here?
It's the worst kind of place. A pun is never appropriate, but a tree pun here? Addie looks at Olaf, be like, you bop me, but not him.
Yep. And Olaf totally accepts that, yes, he bops cubs, but not Gleath all the time.
Ah.
Your humor really needs to branch out, man.
I accept this.
That was the sappiest thing I've ever heard. Can we leave?
Oh, no.
You're all doing it now. You're all fucking doing it.
Okay. We all know who the root of the problem is, okay?
I can hear M.A. screaming now.
Yes.
Oh, no. Make it stop.
We have to go. Okay. Just let's go.
Okay.
I even got one in my head now, but I'm not going to do it. We're
I've got
going.
like 3
Okay,
in my head right
okay.
now.
No, come on, guys. We have to stick to the matter at hand.
I hate you so much, Robert. I hate you so much. You've succeeded in making this worse.
This is like the punception. I can't even handle how many layers are going on here.
Oh my
So
god.
Maeve barked out
Look,
orders.
we all know
and
who
now we're
set the
leaving.
seed for this problem.
No, stop. No, leave. We all need to stop.
I can't.
Okay, one more.
Alright.
Be the burrito, Robert. Be the burrito.
So, you guys managed to get back to the moon bridge. Meanwhile,
Breathe.
once again, you travel up it. It begins to leave this realm. It begins to change your perspective of the world around you. As you reach its apex, you manage to see the moon, and as you descend down, the familiar area of New York begins to open up. Chases the storm without Fox is waiting at the end of the moon bridge.
So, how'd it go?
Maeve is gonna smile fit to crack her face in half and hold up the hand with the acorn.
No, remember. Are you all pleased with the way your Theurge spoke to the spirits for you?
Dust.
Eddie's gonna look forward and just be like, kind of like nod. Like, yeah, she thinks that they did pretty well for her. It works out.
Albert nods without speaking.
Lucas says, Dear Raya, some excellent, excellent bargains were made.
Olaf. Did she pass?
Well, Raya, normally rites of passage amongst my people involve killing, but since there is no killing to be done, I would say she passed.
We shall see. And he will take the acorn, and he will walk off. As he walks off, he'll start to whistle. There,
That's the thing. As he starts off, she's like, "Oh, but I was supposed to." Oh.
Ah, for the love of fuck, Maebh.
Is he whistling anything in particular?
Please let it be the Odalali song, please.
Maebh,
Yeah, Maeve's gonna give chase briefly. Raya,
yes, Maeve.
before you get away, when I spoke to the spirit, I agreed to make sure that you were aware of the deal that I had made, and I'll have to speak to the other elders as well.
Will you now?
I will. Because if nothing else, the influence necessary to get this done may require me to lean somewhat on my elders. Or at least make sure that they have knowledge and approve.
And you made this deal by yourself, did you? Eh?
I spoke to the others who were with me. But yes, I made the deal myself.
You made a deal for the sept by yourself. Is that what I'm hearing?
If the Sept does not wish to assist me, I am sure that I can still accomplish what I must, but I must still speak to the elders, as that was part of the deal that I made, so that they are properly aware of what I mean to do.
You can do this by yourself, can you?
It wouldn't be easy, and I know that my friends would help me, but if the elders saw it as too much to ask, then I suppose I would have to, wouldn't I?
Suppose you would. Huh. Good. You've passed the test of skill, Maeve.
Blink. What? Like, she's obviously, like, braced for a scolding. So the shock is real.
You're confident in your abilities to not only deal with the spirits, but to accept the consequences when they happen. Not only that, but you can do it well enough so that those around you are happy.
She still, like, she blinks a couple more times as it sets in. And then smiles broadly again. All the same, when you do contact the spirit, as it must be done by one of the elders, I have agreed that for each month of spring, I will sow a garden out in the city.
So you will.
Yes, I
I
will.
look forward to seeing them.
She's gonna grin again.
Now, I have to go find a place to plant this. And he walks off.
When Chases walks off, Olaf is the one sidling up next to Maebh. No! To do with that garden on top of my apartment, there's a series of requests I've committed to memory. Mr. Kim wants carrots. He's a very big fan of carrots. And Mrs. Zhang, she likes cucumber, and this just continues.
Miss Chang is such a nice lady. I suggest you go ahead and plant those first.
Alright. So, with that, we will end the scene. We thank you players for playing. We thank you watchers for watching.
Thank you, ST, for STing.
This has been a scene for the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York, the Guru venue. We end the scene with the notion that the most important part of one's skill is not being skillful, but rather being confident in one's own abilities.
Aw.
High
Good night.
five.